Hey, I'm Creech and this is Creech and Cars. Today, I'm going to be going over everything we know so far about Jaguar's upcoming electric GT car, set to rival the Porsche Taycan and Audi e-tron GT. Jaguar has been on a rough decline for the past 20 or 30 years, and now the brand is jettisoning its entire lineup in order to replace it with a fully electric one. Jaguar seems to be moving ahead with this plan, even though EV sales have been slowing down, leaving many automakers reassessing their EV transitions. The key component, and what seems to be the flagship of this new lineup, is a proper GT car that perfectly blends luxury and performance, just like the Jaguars of old. Let's first start with trying to uncover the design of this new model, which may be an indirect successor to the XJ, although Jaguar hasn't really been clear on this, and the new GT will be different from the XJ in a few key ways that move it more into Taycan or Panamera territory as opposed to the 7 Series or S-Class competitor that the XJ has always been. A heavily camouflaged prototype has been spotted out for testing in the past. However, it seems that this was a next-gen XJ that was scrapped during the brand's complete revamp. Here's a nice rendering from Car Scoops that takes some of the recent Tata Jaguar design language and some of the design cues we've seen in more recent Jaguar concepts and blends it all together in the electric GT body style. For now, this is sort of the best look we can get, and I think this rendering is a good place to start from for the new Jaguar, as it looks bold but not too futuristic, and it's much more distinct than the outgoing model. This GT keeps the big body look with the wide stance and upright grille, but it combines this with a low-slung, sporty roofline common to the GT or 4-door coupe segment. There are the J-shaped LED lights that Jaguar has already done for a little bit now, and I think they look quite nice here. The side profile is smooth and sleek, with a large flared hip around the rear fenders. The wheels should be quite large, as reports are indicating the GT could have 20-inch rims or even larger. Many renderings show a Jaguar GT with a rear light bar, but I like this design from CarBuzz that shows long thin LEDs, but it's not a full bar, and there's a nice break in the middle for the Jaguar badge to stand out. Jaguar hasn't given out much about what its new interiors will be like, but unfortunately what has been said so far is mostly disappointing. Jaguar's CEO Adrian Mardell has said that the new interiors will focus on using high quality materials and the technology and features will be more on par with the competition, which sounds good, but the bad news is that he also said that all the interiors will prioritize the minimalist design language. I think this is a huge mistake, as a big reason Jaguar has been falling behind under Tata is that both the exterior and interior designs are very bland and they just blend in with less expensive cars. Both the Taycan and e-tron GT have aggressive and angular interior designs that emphasize the sportiness of the cars. This is an area where Jaguar simply cannot afford a boring, run-of-the-mill interior with large flat panels and a big center screen that houses all of the controls. But as of now, it seems like that will be the case. Performance will be equally as important as the design and feel of the car, so let's get into some of the mechanical specs here. This new GT model, along with a more traditional sedan, still electric, and a larger electric SUV, will be built on Jaguar's new platform, which is called the Jaguar Electrified Architecture, or JEA. Adrian Mardell has said that this platform has been created to allow for optimum performance and interior space, all while creating the basis for an exterior silhouette that will create the best aura and stance around all of the models. This platform should be able to accommodate that nice wide stance that we saw in the renderings earlier. The only specific number that has been given is the range. The electric GT will have 430 miles of range per charge, which is definitely a healthy number. It may not beat out Lucid, but it's significantly better than the Taycan, which even in the most efficient configuration has trouble getting near 300 miles out of a single charge. What may matter more though is the power output. And while Jaguar has promised exceptional performance, we don't really know what that means specifically. I would expect it to come with at least 2 or 3 motors and have all-wheel drive. This would be required for the car to even be competitive, and I would estimate the actual power output to be at least 500 to 600 horsepower and pound-feet of torque for the base model. The last XJR made 550 horsepower, and then there was also the XJR 575, which made 575 horsepower. Right now, the base Taycan makes 400 horsepower, and the Taycan Turbo makes 870 horsepower. The e-tron GT makes between 523 and 637 horsepower. So there could be a higher performance version of the Jaguar GT. We don't know right now if Jaguar will continue with the R performance brand, but if so, this GTR version may have around 800 to 900 horsepower. Jaguar's CEO said that deliveries are on track to begin in 2025, although I suspect it would be at the end of 2025, and the first ones would be 2026 model years. That's taking into account that it seems like we still have a good bit of time before the production model will even be revealed. He also said that the base model will start at or over $125,000. So with all of these big changes underway, can this overhaul really save Jaguar? First of all, I want to say that I am a huge Jaguar fan, and I would love to see the brand stick around. Jaguar isn't in a great spot right now, and there are a couple main reasons why that I'll gloss over here. The price of this new model is fairly high, as both the Taycan and e-tron GT are closer to $100,000 for the starting price, and the Jaguar GT is supposed to have a lot of special editions and exclusive options that really drive up the price. The reason for this is that this is actually part of a broader plan for the brand to move up market and target Porsche and Bentley more than BMW or Lexus like it has been. The attempted move into mainstream luxury under Ford ownership is one of the major mistakes that's led to the current predicament. Ford introduced entry-level models that were just rebadged mass-market sedans, tearing away at Jaguar's exotic exclusivity in order to increase sales figures. Also, at the time, Ford and other American automakers had a little retro craze with models like the Thunderbird or PT Cruiser from Chrysler. This was a blip on the radar for most brands, and it's one most would like to forget about, but Ford took the entire Jaguar lineup in the retro direction starting in the early 2000s. These designs wouldn't really be corrected until JLR was sold to Tata. The combination of these two major errors warrants a very long video of its own, but in short, it's led to a Jaguar brand name that's just simply less desirable than ever before. All in all, I think Jaguar is making the right decision in relaunching the brand and trying to move up market, but that doesn't mean it will be easy. This new GT car, along with the SUV and sedan, need to be great products that demand the high price tag and stand out among increasingly stiff competition. While we still don't know a lot of specifics, things like the minimalist interior design philosophy are troubling signs, reminding us that it's a very real possibility classic marquees like Jaguar can't just sit around and last forever. This GT car needs to be on par with electric rivals like the Taycan, which has sold very well for Porsche, while being beautiful and distinctive enough in its design so that it can stand out from newcomers like the Lucid Air. So there's everything we know so far about Jaguar's all-new electric GT model, as well as the relaunch of the brand as a whole. Let me know what you think about Jaguar's future in the comments below. For more videos like this, check out the rest of the channel and subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.